has thrown so many of us into frustration. But today, we want to bring it in a very positive way this evening on the 30th of November 2024, which is the last day of November. We want you to know that you can take unemployment and use it positively. You take advantage of it and use it for your own advantage. Are you tired of getting stuck in the world of unemployment? Are you willing to get your passion and develop it into a career? You are not alone. Very many people, millions of people all over the world are leaping from unemployment to the world of self-employment. My name is Sophie Aita. I am not alone at the studio. Here with me are two elegant, ambitious women. One is a career woman and one is a self-employed lady, and we are going to talk to you about how you can view unemployment as a blessing in disguise. First things first, let's get to introduce the two ladies, but I want to start from my right.
Thank you so much, Sophie, for the opportunity.
You're welcome.
My name is Mundoro Frida, and I'm a career woman, as she has said. I have a background in IT, basically information systems, and I'm an alumni of Moon University. That's where I did my bachelor's. So I work in the refugee response as a digital skills trainer, but now I'm moving to another position. So yes, I love to work with the community. And besides that, I love to spread out my wings. I don't want to just be in one basket of IT, so I do other things. I'm also a content creator, and I have a YouTube channel. Mundoro Frida, the African girl, you can check it. That's where you can find it. And besides that, I'm also a co-founder of a company called Mieringa Girl Care. And the aim of the company is to see that we reduce the number of teenage pregnancies in the community.
Okay. It's very rare to find women actually in the sector of IT. We normally say that that is a giant thing, but yeah, you should be a very strong woman. So what does the African girl do? Like, what kind of content do you have in your YouTube channel?
Okay, basically I do lifestyle, just showcasing my lifestyle as an African girl.
Wow, yes. That's nice to know. Let's get to my left.
Thank you so much. I'm so delighted to be here today. My name is Fetaro Rachel. I have a background of IT. I completed from Chambogo University, but right now I am a self-employed lady. I haven't been working in my field since I completed. And I also work with Pentium Healthcare Development Group as the coordinator for a project called My Menstrual Health, My Rights. We create awareness to young girls in rural areas who are unaware of their body because they don't have good parental care like sex education. So we reach out to them, and we also donate to them sanitary pads. We give to them sanitary pads. So basically that's what I do, and I am very delighted to be here in this show today. Thank you.
Welcome, Rachel, to West Nile TV.
Okay.
And here, that's a very big initiative that, Rachel, you are doing over there, because in those rural areas, actually, people are shy.
Oh, yes.
And ladies, as they grow up, let me say, mothers don't teach them so well, and you find out that people are embarrassed because of their menstrual flow, and they don't know how to handle it, and so on. And these are things that very many people don't get to talk about much.
Yes,
now,
true.
as you have heard, we have two ladies in the studio here with me. One is a career woman, and the other one is a self-employed woman. And these are very, very ambitious and ladies who know what exactly they want and what they are looking for. Now, let me start from my left with the first questions. Now, I'd say that we will have to start thinking positively about unemployment. What are some of the misconceptions that people have about this word unemployment?
Yeah, basically, when someone hears unemployment, it's something like, in our generation, it's quite stressing, it's quite depressing, because you find so many people right now So many young people are in depression because they have nothing to do, they're unemployed. And actually in the world of today, so many people love to be employed, especially in organizations, maybe in the government sector where they can be earning resources and all that. So when you find someone has completed school and they're just at home, maybe with their master's degree, with their degree, they're at home, bachelor's degree, they're at home, that brings them a lot of depression, and that has really brought so much misconception about unemployment. And so many people have not got to be creative because they have that mentality, I have to be employed in an office, I have to sit in an office, and apart from that, they don't have a vision like of what else they can do apart from being employed.
Have you been unemployed before?
Yeah, I've been unemployed before, so I am really speaking to you out of experience.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you have something to add?
Yes.
Okay.
So to add on the myth on unemployment, as we know that currently there is a huge number of youths that are unemployed, not only the youth alone. So most people believe that people are unemployed because they are lazy. That is a myth. Because the people who are really trying, they're trying. The people who send hundreds of applications and CVs, but still they don't get any response. Does that mean they're lazy? No, they're not. Sometimes it's just the system, the structures that do not favor them. And then also another myth is that that there are courses, when you do them, you
don't get jobs.
You don't get jobs. To me, that's a myth.
Okay.
Yes.
So
To
how
me,
do we
that's
get
a
to
myth.
challenge these misconceptions that people have?
One thing I would like to say is when you go to study a course, don't study it with a fixed mind that, okay, I'm doing IT, this is what I want to do, this is what I will do. If I don't do anything concerning IT, I'm not doing any work. So if you fix yourself like that, you are going to suffer unemployment, I'm telling you.
Now, by the way, you're right. Some people just go to school to study with the aim of coming out to do that particular thing, but you never know. You may not get into the job of your dreams, but then you can start somewhere. There are jobs that we call stepping stones. Wherever you find yourself will be where you are starting from. Now, this unemployment thing can lead to frustration, it can lead to depression, and this is actually where prejudice comes in. Someone, especially, let's say a married man who just lost his job, or, okay, you finished education, you are married, and you are not getting a job. You pick your envelope, you go to look for the jobs on the streets, you don't find anything, you come home, you're very frustrated, you shout at your wife. And the wife gets frustrated because this bitterness is actually contagious. The wife absorbs it because you have shouted on her, she shouts at the firstborn. The firstborn shouts at the second, and the second is shouting at the lastborn. The lastborn has no one to shout on, he's beating the dog, and the dog is chasing the cat. The home is very chaotic. And it is only you as the man, your mind is fixed into this traditional unemployment. If we can get to challenge these misconceptions and get our minds out of this and have a positive thinking to leap from the world of unemployment to the world of self-employment, the world would definitely be a better place for all of us to be into. Now, how can these myths be challenged? She answered part of it. Do you have something to add in concern to that before we go to the next?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
These myths can really be challenged because particularly I met someone and they were like, what did you do, Rachel? I was like, I did IT. And they were like, right now we are having opportunities, but you see, you should have strategized while you're going to do your course. Maybe you should have done something like social works and all that. Young people out there, I just want to tell you that it's a very big myth and very big misconception in our country because I believe everyone has to go for what they really have ambition for, they really have desire for. that really makes us to be perfect in our areas. For example, I do IT and I do it to my best because I have an ambition, I have a passion for it. So you shouldn't go and do social works because you had the government, maybe they're only recruiting people who did social works and all that. You shouldn't go for that, but you should be having a vision. You should be having an ambition. Why am I doing this? So like having had that at your background, it helps you make the very good decisions for your life and do what really gives you joy and what really you have passion in. And you can be a blessing to the world. By the way, people who are talented in their areas are really doing so well. If you really observe people who go for courses, they are really, they love, they have passion for, they are a blessing, they do perfect work. So we shouldn't be forced to go in the medical area because you hear there people get enough money, maybe there are jobs, you can be recruited, you can do this. You should be having a passion as an individual. You're doing IT, what's your vision? Like, do you have passion for it? So that's really very important.
Yeah, so you can change into your heart, like your heart desire into a career. You can build it. Don't just be stuck on what you studied, because you probably may not have been born for that, but for another area, you just needed knowledge in that area to function better in another. I have been unemployed before, and it comes with a lot of frustration if you don't have the right mind for it. So, have you been unemployed before?
Yes, I've been unemployed before.
So what are some of the, how does some of these challenges, the negative mindset, affect the well-being of somebody who is unemployed?
Okay, one of the things that really is strained by unemployment is relationships with people and your family. Like you mentioned earlier, let's say the family head, who is the husband, is trying to find a job, like currently is unemployed. You know, he has to provide for the family. Mm-hmm. The school fees has to be paid. If you're not living in your own house, you have to pay rent. You have to pay medical bills and all of that. So when you don't have the money, you're unemployed, you're not doing anything, you don't have any skill that you're developing in you. So it becomes very hard for your family. Some families break up because there is no money, because the family head is unemployed. Maybe the wife is also not working. And then also another relationship that can be strained is your friendships, the relationship with your friends. Because you can imagine a situation where all your friends are employed, it's you who is not employed. So you're going out for parties, people are going out to happen, they're contributing money, for you don't have the money to contribute. So there is a way you tend to isolate yourself from your friends. So there's that strain that comes in. And then health, it can affect your health. Mm-hmm. Because when you're constantly thinking, you can sink into depression, you can get anxiety, stress, mm-hmm. And too much of that can also lead to high blood pressure.
Okay.
Yes, and even mental illness.
Yes, mental illness.
Wow, high blood pressure, mental illness, depression, stress, prejudice, and all these disadvantages of thinking negatively about this thing called unemployment. Now, how can someone develop the idea now to the employed lady, self-employed lady? How does someone actually start having this mindset from getting unemployed to self-employed?
Self-employed. Mm-hmm. It all comes about with creativity. I know I am speaking to young people out there, and I am encouraging you to be very creative. Personally, I did IT, I do baking, I make liquid soap. Like, I have skills that I know personally as a young lady, that I know that maybe in my area, in my field, if I haven't yet gotten an opportunity to be employed, I can survive. So you have to be creative, look around and see, what can I do best? Apart from the passion I have for my career, what else can I do? So when you develop that kind of mindset, young people out there, you will prosper and you won't be able to lack. Like in this generation, many youths, as we had talked on earlier on, unemployment has caused a lot of depression, mental illness, and when you see around our communities, you see young people are using drugs, and that is resulting out of unemployment. And when you reach out to them and ask them, personally, I reached out to some of them, and I got to know they were degree holders, but they were into drug addiction because they felt what was the importance of school. After all, they haven't gotten any employment. Some of them are fathers. They have to provide for their family, as our sister Frida had said earlier on. You see that? So young people, you really have to be creative. Think of something. Personally, we have a bakery, and that was initiated by me. And I initiated that idea to my mom, and that was because at some point my mom became unemployed from being self-employed, and we needed our family to keep on moving. So like we had to come up with that idea. Yes, we know baking, so how can we do it better? So that's how we came up with a mini factory. It's not a big factory, but it's a bakery that produces bread, mandasi. So you can always reach to us. We are called the Tem Bakery. And you can always reach out to us, and we can always deliver to you in case you make orders with us. Yeah, thank you.
Did you get some challenges in getting started?
Yeah.
Because you said you conceived the idea,
yes,
and your mom helped you.
Yes.
So what were these challenges?
The challenges, actually, I can say right now, it's not finances, but how do I start? How do I start? Because like the starting point is very hard, very, very, very hard. I can say that the starting point of anything, of any idea, of any business is always very hard. But then what is the positive side? What is your strength? What motivates you is really very important. So it was hard to start because sometimes the people you think you can consult are times who have the knowledge of how the whole thing starts up may not want to share their ideas with you. And young people, those kind of people are out there. So you shouldn't be discouraged when you reach out to someone and you expect them to guide you on how to start up something, to give you guidance, and they don't respond positively. So that is also a challenge you should be ready for, because it actually demoralizes one. When you reach out to someone you expected will guide you, and they demoralize you and they tell you, you can't actually do this. How do you think you can do this? You know, there is that discouragement. There is that discouragement, and you can easily fall in it.
It's like,
by the way,
you want to look at yourself as capable.
Yes.
Someone is saying, the way I see, you cannot do it.
The way I see, this bakery won't even stand for 1 year. How will you be able to work it out, and how will you be able to sustain it? So people don't usually look at the future; they look at the present. So young people out there, when you first start, it should be actually like a stepping stone to you, an encourager for you to actually work harder and move forward and actually do that very thing you want to do.
So how did you overcome these challenges that people were throwing towards you?
Oh, I was able to get a good person. They always say among the majority there is always a good Samaritan. And we know very well, for you to start a bakery, you need so many items. In the bakery, you need like a temporary structure, and you need some people to also work for you, because it's a very hectic work. You can't do it alone. So you need a lot of manpower around you, like to support you. So with that, I was able to get an encourager who encouraged me, who supported me, who gave us the guidance on how to start that. And eventually we overcame.
Okay.
And right now, as I am talking, the bakery is running and it's producing bread and the mandazis that people consume daily.
Wow.
Yes.
By the way, yours may not be a bakery. Yours may be a salon. Yours may be maybe a shop, or retail shop, or produce shop, or even a boutique, whatever. It may not be as big as a bakery, but you can start from somewhere. No matter how small your money is, it can start for you a business. And the businesses that people start with as low as 15,000, like baking. You can start from your local kitchen, and then with time, it grows. But then, okay, everyone who wants to grow must face challenges.
Yes.
And challenges will always come to people who aspire to be big. And there is only one way to go, and that is up. Once you have started moving, you shouldn't be coming back. Now, this unemployment, I feel we can really avoid it, because getting unemployed, sometimes it is us who make it. Now, when someone is working, you're spending all the money, you're not saving anything. And time comes when the job leaves you, you're thrown at zero, and you want to start looking around to get another job, and the mind is stuck to traditional employment. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't enjoy your money, that's your business. But what I am saying is enjoy some and save some for the future, because we all never know what the future may bring. And there are root causes of unemployment that we all have to avoid. Now, let me get to my career woman. What are some of the root causes of unemployment that you have come across, now that you had said you have ever been unemployed before?
Okay. So one of the root causes would be, like I said earlier, the structures. You know, we have a belief that the jobs that are currently being advertised, they already have people in the position. So they're just advertising for formality.
How true is that?
To some extent it's true.
Okay.
It's very true.
But some extent also it's not.
Let's say there are still some few people out there looking for quality.
Yes, there are people looking for quality. They're not, the people who, quality doesn't mean your papers, okay? You can have a first class, but you might not
still
be quality.
incompetent.
Yes, you can still be incompetent.
Yeah.
And someone who has a second class lower actually can be very, very competent, can do a great job than someone who has a first class. So the people who don't look at papers, they look at experience, and then some also don't look at experience, they look at your performance. They onboard you and they see your performance.
So, getting back to the root causes of unemployment.
Okay, so I already mentioned one. Then I would also say there is laziness. I would bring in the concept of laziness. Some people are just too lazy to apply for jobs. You know, sometimes for you to get the job that you want, you need to, we call it tamarking, right? You move from one office to another, you need to drop your CVs. You keep getting rejections, but don't give up. If you give up, they say the people who lose are the ones who give up. So you keep going. If this one rejects you, move to the next. If this one rejects you, move to the next. Then I would say something about maybe, you know, sometimes we come out of the university. Sometimes we go in there just to read and pass. So we don't pay attention to maybe the practical bit of things, because when you get into the field, it's no longer head knowledge.
Okay.
It's no longer head knowledge. You have to put in the practicals. So if you're only reading to pass, so what are you bringing to the table? So sometimes also we don't know really how to apply. We don't know how to write application letters. That is very true. You might ask someone, please write for me an application letter, maybe apply for this job. When you read the letter, you get surprised. We don't know how to write CVs, so I think we should invest more time in that and learning how to do that.
Sure. Now that students are at home, I know some of you are watching. This aspect of going to school and they give you assignment, you go to ChatGPT and you copy and paste things. You are killing your mind. You don't think for yourself, you make the AI think for you. And with time, you will leave school, you will leave campus, you will leave that secondary school that you are in, that college. You will leave and you'll be thrown into real world of professionalism, where you will be expected to put that thing you were doing in essay at school into practice. And if the computer was thinking for you, you would have passed highly. But then, what are you able to do? Because it was not there in the brain. The mind behind it was the computer. Obviously, you will not be able to draft. You may draft your the CV correctly, the application perfectly, but then get into the work, you'll be incompetent and you will have to learn from zero. So as we journey, as we explore the strategies, as we explore the stories of the two ladies, I hope we will be able to learn and get to know how to leap from the world of unemployment to self-employment easily. And even those who are in the world of employment, we will be able to strategize enough for the future. Now, we have come to the end of the first segment. Let's have a short break and we'll bounce back shortly.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Ekiki owangula nsasula emyezi 3 nempangula. Ha!
Abaye kubadde ki?
Kituufu ensasula emyezi 3 mpangula. Kituufu.
Subscribe for 3 months to any package of your choice or grab an Azam TV kit and pay for 3 months and stand a chance to win life-changing rewards. Android smart TVs, fridges, motorcycles, and that is not all. You could walk away with free subscription or the grand prize of 20 million Ugandan shillings in cash. Yes, 20 million grand prize. Subscribe today and enter the draw. For more information, 031 2308 900 or visit any Azam TV dealer near you.
Azam TV, entertainment for everybody.
for StarTimes Solar to unwrap your lighting and entertainment experience this Christmas. At only 700 shillings daily charge, get yourself a StarTimes S50 that comes with lighting, phone charging, strong lithium battery, radio with a flash port, and a Bluetooth speaker. For more entertainment needs, get yourself a StarTimes S130 that comes with an extra 32-inch TV screen and 2 years free StarTimes subscription. StarTimes Solar, more than just solar. West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
All right, you're most welcome to the Real Talk Show if you have just tuned in, and we are happy to have you join us in this show because this may be something that will help you for the future, if not for now. And the future starts with the second ahead. So each and every time you are stepping into your future and you never know what is coming ahead of you. So we're looking at the topic of rethinking unemployment, and we are seeing how you can live from the time of unemployed to the time of self-employment. And we are looking at the strategies, the time, and the stories of two elegant women who are here with me at the studio, Munduru Frida and Fetaru Rachel. Now, let's start with Frida. This is the time, it's November, today is the last day of November and we're going into December. People are going to break into holidays, and this is the time contracts are going to end. People need to sign new contracts. And even right now, some of us have already started receiving end of contract letters, and you don't know if you will be going in that same organization next month. And actually, some people have already prepared their mind to stay home. They normally say that you joined the Jobless Youth Association. But then we're looking at stopping yourself from being jobless. How can somebody manage their finances in that era when the contract has ended and they haven't gotten another job, especially the savings that they have been having?
Okay, so I think sometimes people live so much in the present that they don't think of the future. When you get money, you just want to spend it now. That's not good for you as an employee, especially if you're working for somebody, because you don't know what might happen tomorrow. Even if you're self-employed, anything can happen. So how do you manage your finances as an employee? The first thing I would say is cut down on your costs. Don't live to impress anybody. Cut down on your costs. For example, let's say you're earning 500,000 Ugandan shillings, and then because you want to impress the society, or maybe there's someone you're competing with, you want to show them that you have levels. You're earning 500,000 shillings. Why are you living in a house of 350,000 shillings? Why? Cut down your costs and ensure that you save something. Sometimes you just have to save for no reason. Just save, put some money aside, because you don't know what, like I said, you don't know what tomorrow may bring. So in those rainy days, you might need that money, so cut down your costs. Don't compete with anybody, save. Live within your means, don't live above your means. And then also, as you are working for somebody, are you thinking of, let's say, maybe 10 to 15 years to come? Would you still want to be working for somebody? What else can you do with your hands? What skills do you have? How can you work on these skills to ensure that as much as you're working for somebody, also your skills or maybe your talents are bringing in you more income? So you need to look at all of those things. So for me, when I was at campus, you know, at some point, you'll be like, okay, this course wants to finish me. Then you'll be wondering, when I complete, will I be able to get a job? So I used to ask myself, besides information systems, besides anything IT, what can you do? Like she said, just in case you don't get any job in that field, what else can you do? What skills do you have? Are you, let's say maybe you're a very creative person, you can knit. How can that skill be able to earn you money? So you have to look at all of that. So don't spend all your money on very useless things. Clothes, you buy them today. Tomorrow you might grow fat, you might not wear them again. Tomorrow you might become thin, you might not wear them again. You spend money buying gadgets. I'm not saying don't buy them. If you can afford to buy them, it's okay, buy them. But try to invest in something that can save you during the rainy days.
Yeah. You should stop competing, as she has just said. It's just a point of emphasis, and it's a very important one. Stop competing with other people. A friend once told me that you cannot eat your seed because of the pressure of seeing other people eating their fruit. People have already worked, they're now enjoying what they have worked for, but for you, you are yet to sow, and you start eating your seed. When people are flourishing, you will be drying because you will have nothing. Much as you can look good, but spend when you are thinking about the future. Don't just spend because you're seeing your friends spending, or just because of the pressure of, I also want people to see me. Now, going to Rachel. I know this is going to be based on personal experience. How did you manage your finances in that time when you were transiting from unemployment to the world of self-employment?
The world of self-employment. Thank you so much. Basically, me, I shared a vision. I've been a child who has been sponsored throughout, and I bless God for that. So like for someone to help you, they look at you and they see how best and how real are you and how active are you in what you really want to do. Because honestly, no one can support you when they see you're not serious about what you want to start. So I was blessed to have been supported with capital, and that was the first stepping stone for my life, and that was a blessing of which not everyone will really get the same blessing. As our sister said, there are businesses you can start with even 15,000 shillings. You don't have to compare yourself with somebody to start anything. With 15,000, you can start something. You have skills in baking, please go ahead and bake. You have skills in tailoring, make sure that those skills come out. You just don't keep them idle. So like me, I was able to overcome that because I had someone to really help me, to support me financially. You may be that person out there, maybe you're looking at your mother, you're looking at your father, you're looking at your friend, and even these days people have gone as far as getting loans, but which I really don't advise. I don't advise one to start a business with a loan because in case the business doesn't work out, the loan officer still need their loan as you had agreed. So that can really lead you into so many problems, properties being taken and putting you down, taking you back to zero. So critically starting a business, you really have to make a lot of consultations. You have to really think first before you implement some of the things, especially when you have no one to support you at the start. Yes.
Now, you say that you have to think first.
Yes.
So what are the thoughts and how can someone do that? What are the strategies?
Oh, now here is the best strategy. When you have an idea of a business, you can share it with a friend. You can share it with your mother, you can share it with your father or your relatives. Of course, not all of them are going to be positive, not all of them are going to support you, but there is always that one good Samaritan who will always look at you, and they will look at your level of seriousness, how willing, how active are you before they support you. As I said, I don't advise for loans for those who don't have businesses that are running, that are bringing income. Because when you get a loan at a starting stage of a business, you're bound to fail because you're not sure how far the business will go or how it will really work out at that point, because you're really trying to observe. There is always something they always say, you have to search your market. You have to get to know, I'm getting into this business, I'm getting into baking, I'm starting a bakery. how often do people consume the mandazis? Yeah, how do they consume them? So for every business you start, you have to also consider the market, not just starting. It's good to be creative, but then you also have to run out a survey, so that you are not bound to, you're not into losses, you're not into regrets of why I started this, why I invested. I know there are so many people, you've invested into something. I know as I'm speaking right now, you'd be having a question, you're like, yes, Rachel, you're telling us to be creative, but we have tried things and we have failed. What are the strategies you used? So you really have to look into that strategy you used that failed, and look around. Maybe this failed. What else? What other strategy can I use? Yeah, to prosper in that business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I see you are a self-employed lady,
Yes.
and I can say you have already gotten your balance,
Oh yes.
and you are already getting there. Now, how do you manage your finances as a self-employed lady right now?
Oh, I can say that my mom personally, my mom is an accountant. Since me, I am an IT lady. I can say, in a business, you need people, you need qualified people, especially for a business maybe that you've invested in a lot, because don't invest in a business and run it on your own ideas, because some businesses have collapsed over time because they eat and even eat the capital. They eat and eat the capital, and then things begin failing, things begin not working out, and you see how idea or something you started, you invested in a lot, at the end of the day, there are businesses right now that started that we can't hear of anymore. Why? Maybe the people, maybe for example, I have a bakery right now, and maybe I have children, and what will the children do? Maybe after I am gone and this business remains here, they will mishandle it. I think that. So like, that's also very important, very important for us to know, handling finances. As I said, my mom is an accountant, so she really supports me a lot. So like, for you who is not an accountant, get someone who knows accounting, because business goes with accounting. For anything that you can't account for, you can't know how much you've spent, you can't know how much you've sold, you can't know how much profits you're getting in that business. So it's very important that even that small business that you're having, you keep records. I know not everyone is educated. I may be speaking to people out there, you're not educated, and you're like, Rachel, you're talking about accounting. How do I do this? How do I keep records? Find someone who can really help you in that area and consult them, because I always believe, like our sister Frida said, it's not all about having a first class. Someone with a first class, someone with a second class can actually be better than you. And even someone who has never been to school can do excellent work. I have discovered that these days, that the most prominent businessmen in Uganda who are prospering right now are not even educated, not even close to any university, but they're doing great. They are having big businesses and they're prospering. So just be positive. Be willing to learn as an individual. You have your business, consult other people, be willing to learn. It's very important for you to be willing to learn. And from that point of being willing to learn, you can grow. Yeah.
And be willing to learn. This brings us to the aspect of coaching. Did you ever have a coach?
Yeah, I've ever had a coach.
Okay.
Yes.
Is this coach in line with the business that you're doing right now?
Oh no, the coach is not in line with the business that I am doing, but this is someone who has prospered. Yeah, I look at him because I've seen him in everything he does. He prospers, so that motivated me to reach out to him, and I was like, how did you do this? Okay. And he guided me, and he coached me, and he mentored me. Actually, he started mentoring me when I was quite young. So as I grew up with time. I started seeing all that he's doing, and I was like, wow, this is great. Yes.
Have you ever had a coach?
Yes.
Okay.
Like I mentioned earlier, I'm a co-founder of a company called Miranda Girl Care. So it was a startup, it was a project under UNFPA. So of course when we were starting, we didn't know. We thought we knew, but we didn't know much. So as we were building the process of registration and finding our footing, because it was so broad, there's so much that we wanted to do. So with the help of a coach or a mentor, we're able to narrow it down. So mentors or coaches, basically, they take you through processes that help you to see what you want to do clearly. Because there are some unnecessary things that we want to do, but when you work with a mentor, this is just somebody who has gone ahead of you, has done what you're doing. So they might not have done exactly, but they know something, they have the knowledge.
We normally say they have made the mistakes for us.
Yes. So now they're teaching you through their mistakes. So yes, I've had coaches, both that we can see physically, and also there are those coaches I follow online. Yes, so just depending on my interest. For example, my YouTube journey as a content creator, there are people I follow. There are things they have done, the mistakes they have made that I've learned from.
So with the learning and all that, how can we get to support those who are unemployed around us?
Okay, so the first thing I would say is let's not be too quick to judge people when they're unemployed. Let's not talk too much. The best we can do for the start is listen to somebody. Maybe you might understand why they are unemployed. They might not know better. It's you who is going to help them. So let's listen to them. Let's understand why they are where they are. Maybe we can guide them through it. And then also another way that we can support people who are unemployed is, someone might be unemployed because they can't afford to get money to print their CV. There are organizations that require you to submit a printed copy. They don't want handwritten. And you're not supposed to submit it online. You're supposed to type it properly and submit it. You might find someone doesn't have the money to print, someone doesn't have the transport, so if you can be able to help somebody with, let's say, money, or you're somebody who is into secretarial business and you can offer help to print for them, let's do that. And then also if you are somebody, maybe you're self-employed, or maybe you're somebody of influence in the society and you can help someone get a job. It might not be the exact job they want, but something little to help them start. We can always do that.
Wow.
And then if you're also someone who, there are people who have information. They have information where you can study courses for free, where you can get sponsorships and all of that. Let's not hoard information. Let's not hold information to ourselves. Let's put it out there. If someone's looking for information, let's give it out. You might know a link where someone can learn, let's say, how you can build a business from scratch. There are those webinars and all of those that are free. You don't have to pay for anything. Someone might not have got the information about it. You have it, share it with them. So let's not hoard information.
Do you have some things to add, like in 2 minutes?
Oh yes, I have something to add on what Sister Frida has said. Actually, I've realized that the world we are in right now is the world of technology. And you can really admit with me that things are changing. Things are no longer the way they used to be. I remember those days when my mom would submit her applications. She would submit handwritten applications. But right now, applying for a job, they'll tell you, submit it on their email. So here is someone, as Sister Frida says, has no money, has not even a computer. At least if you have a computer, you can be able to type your work, organize it very well, and send it. Maybe even probably has no data to send, because we need data to send the documents as well. So you find out that this becomes a challenge, and I think it's also, when you look at it critically, it also it's one of the biggest thing affecting so many people. I'm very, very sure right now, not every student who finished school has a laptop or has access to money. Because remember, you might be from school, your parent has been supporting you, and they're like, now you're done with school, we are no longer helping. I've met people like that. They are like, Rachel, after I finished school, my parents were like, your responsibility is no longer on us. We expect you to get a job and help your siblings. So you find yourself in that kind of scenario. And that's where I can really take us back to depression. You sit in the house now, you get depressed. You begin to get depressed. You begin to even develop mental illness. And those are some of the things. So it's really my humble appeal to us that we be supportive to one another.
Yeah.
Always be a good Samaritan. I love using that word because I've been helped by Good Samaritan. And I'm that lady who has developed into being a very kind, empathetic. I love to hear people's concerns, and I love to be a good hearer than a good talker. So because of that, I have loved to always hear, to always get to understand what is the root cause of every situation that one would really go through. So I'd really love to appreciate you, Sister Frida, for that very good point. I think someone out there has really been able to really understand and feel blessed to be with us here today.
Okay, yeah, I'll pick up from there. You may or may not have the support, but it is not impossible for you to stand on your feet. Now, for us who are employed or for us who are self-employed, these unemployed people in the society, they are also human beings. First of all, as Frida had said, stop blaming them. Stop throwing insults at them. These people have potentials. These people have skills inside them that they just need help to be brought out. So first of all, we need to be supportive around them. We need to help them come to their feet. Now, we need to have this supportive society where everyone, whether unemployed or employed, is allowed to access services. Stop discriminating people. Stop throwing the unemployed away as though they are not human beings, because that is what really frustrates. The ones who have money or the ones who are unemployed are treated differently. And the ones who are not employed, they are also treated in another way as though they mean nothing. Now, as the society, we will have to stop this. People's worth is not measured according to the money they have. It is not. People's worth is measured according to their potentials and the skills that they are able to bring out of themselves. You know, if you can be able to help this person who is unemployed right now, he may rise above this person you thought actually had money or had potentials. Just because he or she was privileged doesn't mean they now own the world or they have everything already. Secondly, let's foster a culture of empathy around us. Put yourself in the shoe of this person who is unemployed. If you were unemployed, what would you want people to do for you? What would you want people to do for you? Now, put yourself in that situation and do it for someone who needs help. Do it for this person who is unemployed. If you own a secretariat, print for them these documents. And if you have some money, give someone the money as a capital for them to start their own business. That would really help. We are still talking about a supportive society that values each and everyone in the community. Now, you also have to focus on people's potentials. What are they able to do? We can see some of these unemployed people in the society, they have passion for certain things. They may have passion for camera, for farming, they have passion for business, let's call it trade. Whatever trade they want to do, whatever potentials they have, pick it up and use it to help them. You can, first of all, use it to your advantage, but as you use it to your advantage, don't take advantage of them. Pay them honestly. There are these people in the community who haven't studied, but we need them for menial jobs, like for laying of bricks, you know someone you can call. For carrying bricks, transporting them from one place to another, you know somebody you can call. If you want your laundry to be done, maybe you have a lot of clothes and you want somebody else to wash it for you, you know whom to contact. You know this person who can knit very well. If you need somebody to knit for you, to keep for your chairs or for your sofa, you have someone you can contact. If you want to dress well, you know a designer who can do this. So why don't you get them and help them to develop this potential, to develop this skill that they have into something good. Now, we also have to redefine work. As I said, let's not keep our mind into this traditional employment where somebody else has to employ me. You can also employ another person in such a way that you can coexist. As Frida had said, she is a co-founder. You can join heads. One person has the money, for you have the brain. Come together and form something. Now we have come to the end of the first hour. As we shift into the second hour, you can keep on dropping your comments and your questions down there on our YouTube channel, and we are coming back to read them. Let's get back, shall we?
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Ekiki owangula nsasula emyezi 3 nempangula.
Abaye kubadde ki?
Kituufu wensasula emyezi 3 mpangula. Kituufu.
Subscribe for 3 months to any package of your choice or grab an Azam TV kit and pay for 3 months and stand a chance to win life-changing rewards. Android smart TVs, fridges, motorcycles, and that is not all. You could walk away with free subscription or the grand prize of 20 million Ugandan shillings in cash. Yes, 20 million grand prize. Subscribe today and enter the draw. For more information, 031 2308 900 or visit any Azam TV dealer near you.
Azam TV, entertainment for everybody.
for StarTimes Solar to unwrap your lighting and entertainment experience this Christmas. At only 700 shillings daily charge, get yourself a StarTimes S50 that comes with lighting, phone charging, strong lithium battery, radio with a flash port, and Bluetooth speaker. For more entertainment needs, get yourself a StarTimes S130 that comes with an extra 32-inch TV screen and 2 years free StarTimes subscription. StarTimes Solar, more than just solar. West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Once again, a very, very good evening to you, and you are most welcome to join us at the Real Talk Show here at West Nile TV with Miss Sophie, with a guest Frida and Rachel. Frida is a career woman and Rachel is a self-employed woman, and we are talking about rethinking unemployment. And right away, we want to go to strategies to thinking positively about unemployment. We had talked a lot about how you can manage your finances as a self-employed person or as this person who is employed at somebody's business, somebody's company, somebody's organization. And we also talked about how you can transit smoothly, but from the world of unemployment to self-employment. But we will have to talk more about this as we roll on with this. So thank you for joining us at West Nile TV Real Talk Show. Now, let me get to Rachel. You had mentioned that you had your mother to support you to start this business. Did you get any other support from any other person apart from your mother? And you had also mentioned that there were these people who were throwing a negative attitude towards you. So how did you deal with them, and how did you manage to maybe convince them and get to your side?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't manage to convince them.
Okay.
But then I realized this is me. I have to be positive. I have to work hard towards what I want. And from learning that sometimes your own success is personal.
True.
People coming to support you when you're somewhere. I think all of us have been able to experience that. Someone supports you when you're somewhere, not at the 0 point.
Yeah.
Even when you are asking for donations, because right now, as Pentium Healthcare Development Group, the project I am running as a co-founder and a coordinator, My Menstrual Health, My Rights, where we empower and sensitize young girls about their body and also donate to them reusable sanitary pads. The people who are partnering with us and who have actually proposed to partner with us are going to help us at a point, not at a starting point, but they will help us from somewhere. They will be inspired to see what we are doing. As young people, we are able to do this. That's where they come in and they're like, okay, wow, these are very intelligent young people trying to come up with something beneficial for their community. So that's how they come in, and actually that's where you find, boom, a project is already somewhere. So that's also very important to learn, like have someone you really look at. The truth is there are so many negative people out there. They will discourage you. But you may not be like me who thought positive. Like I was like, no, come whatever, I'm going to be positive. I'm going to remain focused to my goal. You may be that weak person in mind, but I'm here to encourage you that never let anyone put you down. Never let anyone determine your future. It's you to fight, stand out for what you want to be, for what you really are. Because sometimes we hide out and we don't like come out to show our potentials. There's so many great leaders out there, by the way. They have never come out like to show their potentials. So they're there hiding. Who will know they're great leaders? who know they are great businessmen. Maybe you got created to be a great businessman, but because you look down to yourself all the time, you're like, look at me, what good can come out of me? So with a positive mindset, you have to set a very positive mindset around you despite the challenges. Yes, the challenges will come, the negativities will come, people will talk down on you, but you have to remain positive. So like me, who had my mother supporting me, and I had my sponsor to give me some of the capital to start that, you may be that person who doesn't have. So look around to people who can support you. Thank you.
Wow. Before anybody can support you, they want to know, what do you have? That you have will encourage them either to support you or to let it go. Now, to you, how did you foster a network of maybe coaches or peers or colleagues in that journey of unemployment that you had one day?
Okay, so you know, we are in a digital era, right?
Mm-hmm.
So usually, I don't know if any other person does that. If I face a challenge and I don't know the way to go, sometimes I run online.
Okay.
So when you go online to do some research, there are people who you meet there. So you can connect with them, and you can build really good relationships with them, and they can really help you in your journey. And if you have an interest, you can also, there are networks that you really get. So the digital tools are there to help us. However, also in the physical, you know, it's not only you who is going through the challenge that you're going through. There are many people, so we share things with our colleagues. And then you share, I'm going through this, how do I overcome this? Then someone who has gone through that can also hold your hand and help you through it.
Wow.
That's true.
Okay, do you have something to add?
Yeah, actually you have to, I've actually realized that in this digital world, things go trending very fast on the internet. I think all of us have realized that that you can put something on the internet and from nowhere you've got 1,000 views, like you've got comments, and you wonder. So like, I think social media is one of the biggest tools right now. I think I have a story to share. We saw of a policeman who was in the rain he was actually a traffic officer.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was in the rain serving his people.
Yes.
Serving the people of Uganda, and he was captured by a good Samaritan and posted on social media.
And he went very viral.
He went very viral. The kind of blessings he got are unspeakable. Are unspeakable. So like these are things that he wouldn't have attained if he had hidden himself in a nutshell or he was selfish. And it's like, after all, it's raining, I should go and have shelter. Many of us don't want to be washed by rain. So you can see that empathetic good heart that a traffic officer had.
Yeah.
So like, social media is a big tool right now. You can reach out to so many people, and though there's so many, like right now we have content creators. I can say where they have reached, sometimes reaching out to them, like maybe having a personal conversation in their inboxes can be quite hard.
Because they have a lot of people they're talking to.
Yes, they have a lot of people they are talking to. Personally, I've tried to reach out to some. I see their content, I see the things they're doing on social media, and I'm inspired. But reaching out to them is quite hard. And that also, like, to some point, Sister Frida, I'll request you like to really guide us on that point. Because maybe you're that someone, it's your first time and you've gotten someone who has inspired you, and you're like, I need to reach out to someone. This person has to tell me, like, maybe to guide me. How were they able to reach to their success? And you're that person, maybe like me, who reached out and my messages have never been replied up to now. And maybe you may not be like me, who is like, maybe someday you're hopeful and like, someday I may get a reply. Someday I may get a reply. And maybe you're that person who gives up immediately. Sister Frida, how would you address that?
Now, this is also right to Sister Frida, because you are a YouTuber and you have people who inspired you to start the YouTube content creation. And you also mentioned that you have mentors who are online. I think you're the right person to answer this.
Okay, so the truth is that there are people who are really so busy. You know, sometimes I think you can see from the comments, there are people who put a video and then you have over 2,000 comments.
Yeah.
Imagine you're one person. And you have to go through every comment and reply to everything. So it can be really hectic. I remember on my birthday, which was just a few days ago, in the month of November, I posted on Facebook and I got some comments. But let me tell you, replying to every comment is very hectic. You have to go through every comment and then you reply.
And after replying, you find out people are replying back.
Yes, people are replying back and then also you have to reply, so it's a lot of work. Sometimes they don't reach out, not because they don't want to, but it's just that their hands are full. And if someone doesn't have a management team, you know, there are people who reply because they have people who are managing their social media. It's not them. There are people whose jobs are to reply to comments and to post the things online. Me as a creator, I create the content, I'm the face you see, but the people replying to you are different people. There are people who have a team who work. But if you don't have a team, it's really, really hard. So if you're really interested in talking to such a person, you have to keep reaching out. Don't give up so easily. You really have to keep giving.
Okay. I'm really blessed to have the IT ladies with me today. So let's go to explore more about this era of technology that both of you had mentioned. How has technology helped in creating job opportunities?
Okay. So technology is what is really taking over right now.
Actually, it has taken over.
It has taken over. Though we still have the traditional bit of things, but technology right now. Everything. At least you need to have basic computer skills. You need to know something. So how it has helped in creating jobs is that, you know, these days there are people who work from home. There are people who do remote jobs, which is very good. And it's something I really want to look into, because it saves you a lot of time. You know, if you're in a busy place, let's say you live in a place like Kampala, which is so chaotic, a lot of jam, you know, sometimes going from home to work and back is very hectic every day. But if you're a remote worker, you just work online from home. You can either work within Uganda or any part of the world. There are those that are open to any part of the world. So there are remote jobs. There are sites where you can get the remote jobs. So you just need to really invest in your time. Don't be lazy. If you're interested in something, sit down and do research. Don't be lazy. If you're interested in doing remote jobs, sit down, look for the sites. The websites are there. Or maybe for the start, you could look for people who are already doing the remote jobs. Because there are people there in Uganda. Like, I'm talking about Uganda because we're in Uganda. Someone might say this thing doesn't work in Uganda. It works. There are people who are doing remote jobs. I follow some of them on TikTok because they come, they talk a lot. There's one lady called Joy. She just uses the name Joy. She's a remote worker. So she gives a lot of information about remote work, that if anybody wants to do remote jobs, you can follow her. She gives out tips. You can be able to do that. So I've been able to do some jobs online, surveys. They pay. Here in Uganda, you either choose the option of your mobile money or your accounts. For my case, I use mobile money. There's a site where I do surveys. It's called AfriSite. So the survey is very competitive. You have to be very fast because the number they want is limited. So you have to be very fast. So yeah, there are those remote jobs that you can do.
Okay. Do you have something to add onto that?
Oh yes, I have something to add, and I also have something to guide.
Okay.
I think when you watch the YouTube ads, there are some YouTube ads I've come across, and they tell people, they're telling people how to make money online. Actually, I would like to make clarification on that, because you can come on those ads. These ads are created by IT people. Maybe they want to gain traffic and all that to their websites, to their YouTube, and they come up with some ads that are really not real. They are not real. where they tell you maybe you play this game and you earn money, and maybe you participate in this, you earn money. So again, you have to be careful. You have to look out to like sites, as Sister Frida said, there are sites that are there, but then you have to be careful. And then also you have to be careful clicking into links or anyhow on the websites, like on Google. These days there are so many like fraudsters out there, hackers who are hacking into people's systems. And severally, I think you've seen some links coming in that there was a link I received from a friend that the president is giving out some amount of money.
Actually, that's the latest going for Christmas.
For Christmas. And when you look at the money, it's really huge. So those are the hackers we are talking about. You click onto those links, they have access already to your WhatsApp, they have access to your information, even to your bank accounts. And anything that goes wrong, you're held accountable as a person. So you have to be extra careful when you're on these sites. And maybe probably you also have to like seek for guidance.
Okay, now both of you are IT personnel. We need guidance here. How do you identify a legit link from a fake link? Because I understand there are those links that come, and as the IT person, you just know this is fake. And there is this that comes, you will know, yeah, this is real. Because for some of us, if we find those links that you do the survey on, we may still say they're fake because we fear being hacked, as Rachel had said. And right now, on social media, actually, some people are thinking all the links are fake. A live example, you know, I shared a link to people in their inboxes, the YouTube link for the Real Talk show, for them to catch the show on YouTube. Now there is a friend who actually deleted all the links I sent him because he thought this was a scam. Until he texted me who this was. It was the wife who knew me, and then the wife had to explain to him what was going on. So people just on seeing link, they will think it's fake, and they'll think somebody wants to hack me. So how do I know this link is legit and this is fake?
Okay, maybe I would use an example of organizations advertising jobs. Because right now, if you go on the internet, maybe you type available jobs in Uganda, they're going to bring for you a number of them. For example, let's say someone has posted that there is a job with, let's say, TPO Uganda, or maybe OPM. So your responsibility is to go to the OPM website and check whether that job is available. Don't just go because the link is there, let me click it. Take your time, go check on the website. Is the job there? Is it legit? Because you'll always find information there. So don't be too quick to click on links. I know people click on links too fast because you want easy things. They're giving free 100,000. Why not? Let me click.
Even 1 million.
That
free 15 GB
data.
Yes, that love for free things will cost you your money. So you really have to take your time.
Okay.
Yes, don't rush into clicking links.
Don't rush into clicking links. Yes, very, very important. Take your time, check out whether this link is legit or not. If you are really interested, not because of greed, not because you want free things, but because you are looking for something that may help you for a very long time. Take your time, go and check whether it is there, whether the information is running, and then come back and click on the link later on. But be careful, as Rachel had said, hackers are everywhere. Hackers are everywhere. People are looking for free things. As you look for free things by clicking that link, someone is also looking for a free thing from you by hacking your account. So let's be careful. Now to Rachel, how can someone identify their potentials? Like, as I had mentioned before, there are these guys who are unemployed in the community, probably because somebody finished Senior 4 and had no money to continue their education. And they are the ones we normally use for ferrying bricks, for throwing them into the vehicles and so on. How can we help such people identify their potentials?
Now that comes to awareness, that comes to a supportive community. And I really want to talk about this because right now we are living in a selfish world whereby everything we are self-centered. For example, I maybe like I do educative talks, I have time to share with young girls. And this is where you can identify their potential. You can talk to them, you can ask them questions. You can, like, sometimes I go for my menstrual health rights awareness, but I go off that track. And I can ask them, what do you want to become in future? What have you ever done that excited you, like that you felt like I've done this thing, I think I really have the ability. So that really can help you identify, help someone identify their potential. Because like for me on my own, I may not be able to identify the potential I have, but with the help of someone, that person can guide me to identify who I am. So that comes to all having a supportive community. Okay. We should be supportive. We shouldn't be selfish. Like I know baking. I shouldn't tell someone 50 million for you to learn baking. There are people who are extravagant. Yeah. They can even tell you amounts like that are so big that you cannot. And sometimes it's good to share free knowledge. It's good to share free knowledge because when you see someone prospering there, maybe when they're prospering, they can look back and say, so and so helped me. So we need to create a community that is not selfish, a community that is supportive. That is one way we can empower the young people, discover who they are. Because sometimes we can even create awareness campaigns. Yeah. Where like maybe you gather some group of youths, you talk to them. Like there's so many strategies to do that. I know it's very hard to gather individuals that you're just going to talk to them, but you come up with ways. You come up, maybe you can say, you can have some things to give out. You can have, maybe you can organize it in a way that you're giving out clothes. Maybe you're giving out some free gifts. But during that sessions, you share with them and you ask them questions. Okay. And that helps them to even actually open up to you and tell you what they're going through, what they wish. I know there are so many young people out there, like they're like me, I wanted to become this, but because I didn't have a supportive mother, I was in a family, maybe a family of polygamy, and maybe domestic violence. I didn't get to discover who I am. So that creating awareness is very important.
Well,
yeah.
One thing, besides creating awareness is what you had just said, you shouldn't be selfish. A live example, I reached out to someone who knew how to do graphics and design, and I needed to learn, and this guy said I should give him 3.5 million. Knowing very well that situation, I wasn't having that money, so I had to leave. But that was his story. Maybe that was his price, I don't know. But then let's support each other. Let's build each other. Let's help each other identify our potentials, our skills, and what is inside us. If you are privileged to have something, help the less privileged or help those who think they are unprivileged. How can we get to transit from unemployment to self-employment smoothly? First of all, we have to overcome our fears and doubts. That fear that is pressing you down, the self-doubt that you have, that inside negative talk that is telling you you cannot do it, shut it down completely and prove it wrong by bringing yourself up and doing what exactly you know that you can do. Quitters never win, and winners never quit. So once you have started moving, you shouldn't be able to draw back, because the voices of friends may demoralize you, voices of the people who are closest to you, whom even sometimes you expect they are going to help you, are going to be the one demoralizing you. So you shouldn't be drawn back because of the words that they are saying. Identify your potentials, know what you can do, and move on with it. You will achieve something great, and these people will be the same people asking for help from you when we get up there. When you get up there, you will be the one to support them. Now, you also need to identify entrepreneurial opportunities. What businesses can you do? What skills do you have? And how can you put these skills to start a business, either of your own or to help support somebody's business. Many people start their business in this way. They go and work with somebody in a similar business, and then with time, they also start their own. You can go and start working with someone who has a salon, and then you get your capital, you start your own salon. You start selling clothes for someone who has a boutique. With time, you go and start your own boutique. It works this way. Before you start a business, you have to build a business plan. What do you want to venture into? And at that point, even before you are unemployed, are you thinking of a business idea? Before you are unemployed, do you think of maybe one day, if I am unemployed, what am I going to do with my savings? Or how am I going to grab an entrepreneurial opportunity? Now, we have come to the end of this segment. Let's get a short break. As we come back to the last segment of the show, we are going to read your comments, your questions, if they are there, and any other thing that you have put for us there. Thank you so much. See you in the final segment.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Ekiki owangula nsasula emyezi 3 nempangula.
Hey!
Ha!
Abaye, kubadde ki?
Kituufu wensasula emyezi 3 mpangula. Kituufu.
Subscribe for 3 months to any package of your choice or grab an Azam TV kit and pay for 3 months and stand a chance to win life-changing rewards. Android smart TVs, fridges, motorcycles, and that is not all. You could walk away with free subscription or the grand prize of 20 million Ugandan shillings in cash. Yes, 20 million grand prize. Subscribe today and enter the draw. For more information, 031 2308 900 or visit any Azam TV dealer near you.
Azam TV, entertainment for everybody.
for StarTimes Solar to unwrap your lighting and entertainment experience this Christmas. At only 700 shillings daily charge, get yourself a StarTimes S50 that comes with lighting, phone charging, strong lithium battery, radio with a flash port and Bluetooth speaker. For more entertainment needs, get yourself a StarTimes S130 that comes with an extra 32-inch TV screen and 2 years free StarTimes subscription. StarTimes Solar, more than just solar. West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
All right, welcome back to the final segment of the Real Talk Show today, 30th of November 2024, and we are talking about rethinking unemployment. How do we get to think positively about unemployment and take it as an advantage for ourselves to do something better, to do something that can better our lives, that can better our future? Now, I want to start with a summary of the points that we had really talked about. And thinking positively about unemployment can be very, very challenging. But then, once you start on thinking positively, you can actually grab it, take advantage of it, and then use it to change your life for good. By the way, the richest people in the world are businessmen. So if they can tell you their story, they honestly also started from a very low level, and they are able to reach that level. People who have big business enterprises, people who have big shops, and those ones who are living big, they started small. So there are always small beginnings that get to explode and get you to the top of the ladder. Now, there are things that you need to do. Reframe your thinking. As we said before, this issue of having traditional mindset of employment should stop. Once you are unemployed, start thinking about yourself, not looking for jobs. You can look for jobs, yes. We're not despising it. That's also part of it. Look for jobs, and once you find work, invest into something else, so that once the job is done, or once you lose the job or the contract ends, you have something to stand on. You have your own capital to start your business, or you have somewhere to step onto. And you have to focus on what you can control. Leave that thing that you cannot control. The ones that you think you cannot do, stop struggling with it. Instead, go for that one you have identified as a potential within yourself and do it. So focus on the things that you can control instead of focusing on these ones that you know you cannot control. And you have to seek support. We talked about coaching, we talked about mentorship, we talked about peers and support from colleagues and so on. Identify with people who can support you. Identify with people who think positive about your idea. But first, remember that people will always come to support you when you already have something running. When people are coming to your aid, they first have to know, what have you started? What do you have? What ideas do you have? And they will even ask you, how can we support? So you cannot go to someone for support when you literally have nothing. So look for support. Stay around people who are positive towards you. And then reflect on your values and goals. What do you want to become? What career do you want to build? Invest in that, and you will be able to drive comfortably. And another point is you have to celebrate little wins. This one, I do it myself. When I do something that I feel is deserving of celebration, I buy a cake in my room. I celebrate myself. And it gives me courage to move on and to do it more and more. Once I have done this, I feel I deserve to be celebrated and there is no one to celebrate me. I buy a cake, I cut that cake, and I eat the cake. And the next time I'll feel like I have to do this again to deserve something. And I celebrate myself. Sometimes just surprise yourself, buy yourself a dress, not because you want to look good, but appreciate yourself. Buy yourself something special just because you have achieved something. Don't always make people to be the one to celebrate you. Start from yourself. Celebrate yourself. Now, let's get to the comments from our viewers on YouTube. I want to start with someone who is called Nduga Henry, and Frida, you'll help him in this. I think he's a teacher, and he is saying that as a teacher, he feels like the business that he is going to start will need a lot of capital because his profession is teaching. He's probably looking into starting a school. So and he's even saying that being unemployed is his greatest nightmare right now because he's probably thinking, where will he get the money for starting the school from? So that is his fear. So how can you advise him, or how can we talk to Henry?
Okay, so earlier on we said that sometimes when you are taking up on these courses, don't focus so much on what you're studying alone. Ask yourself, besides this, what else can I do? Because sometimes it's what else you can do that will help you achieve the dreams that you want to achieve. And saying that he's a teacher, personally, I'm from a home of teachers. Both my parents are teachers, so I know what he's talking about. So if his dream is to, let's say, start a school, we are just assuming, we're not sure if that's what he wants to do. You want to start up a school. How many proprietors are your friends?
Okay.
Let's start from there. Because those are the people you'll need information from to help you start your own business. You being a teacher alone might not be enough for you to start a school. You need somebody who has a school that is running. How many of them are you connected to? So that comes to the point of networking. You need to create a network with the people who are doing the same thing that you want to do. So if you don't have them now, start looking for them. Don't just start because you feel like you can start. You know, that courage is good, but you need somebody who has gone ahead, because there are things you don't see that they have seen. There are things they have done that didn't work. They'll guide you properly on it. So you have to look at that. And if maybe your challenge might be the finances.
Yes.
Okay, so there are people out there who are always ready to help. Yours might only be to bring the idea. I have this idea. I don't have the finances. You need people. There are people who are willing to give you the money. For example, there is a lady, she's called Salat Wari. She's not a teacher. Not a teacher. I think she stopped around senior 3 or 4. But because she has the passion for education, she wasn't privileged enough to study. She's a YouTuber, she's a content creator. She purposed that whatever money she gets on YouTube, she's going to use it to build a school. She built a school, and there are also people who came in to support. There is one guy called Wodemaya from Ghana. He had to fly to Uganda to support the project. So sometimes all you need is the idea. People will come to help support you, but sometimes you have to go out to look for the people yourself.
So, according to Frida, Henry, you should start to think, if you're thinking about putting a school or building a school, you should start to strategize right now. Don't wait for that time when you're unemployed. If that's the only business you have in mind, you have the person, you have the determination, I would say there is nothing impossible on the face of earth once you are determined to do it. Do you have something to add?
Oh yes, I have something to add. I don't know whether all of us have ever heard of this saying that there are so many graves with people who have died with their dreams.
Okay, yes, that the grave is rich with dreams.
The grave.
Because, yes, the grave is very rich. Actually, it's the richest place because a lot of people conceive these dreams and they don't get to bring them out and they die, they are buried.
Yes, exactly. She has brought it in a right way. So my brother, don't wait for that time with all the skills, with all the knowledge. I know it could be finances because, so many people want to start up things. It could be you are facing a financial challenge, but then with employment, every time you're employed, you should have a savings account. It's very important because one day when that job is done, what else do you have to look at? You'll have nothing. You'll start from nowhere. So it's very important that you also, as Sister Frida said, you come up with the idea, you share it with someone, and from there, there are people who are ready to support. And I think that will really be great for you to start up maybe a school if it was your desire. And maybe it couldn't be a school. Like for us, our assumption is just maybe you wanted to start up a school because you didn't state it clearly what you really intended maybe to do as a teacher. But then our encouragement is you can start from nowhere and keep positive. Maybe if you had maybe setbacks, worries, I think this is the best time to reach out to people, to mentors, and ask them, how do I do this? How do I get there? And I think they'll be able to help you out.
Okay.
Okay, maybe to add something on what she has said.
Yeah.
You know, these days we're talking about technology. So there is a point that we didn't mention.
Okay.
These days, people do business online. You can have a whole business running online. You sell products online. You have a store in one corner of your house. So I don't think a teacher is an exception to doing business online.
No.
You might be a very good, let's say you're a very good math teacher, you're a very good chemistry teacher. There are many people struggling with those subjects. They just don't easily understand it. So just look at a situation where you're using your platform to help people. As a teacher, you might not have the capital to start the school. You have your phone. At least the phone camera can take a photo. I'm a content creator. I don't have a camera. I have my phone. It's what I use. You sit down, create content, teach people, post the content online. Maybe you can have maybe links or maybe call to action. Maybe like your phone number, maybe a WhatsApp, that if you want more information, you can click. So as a teacher, I think you can take up that opportunity. Go online, teach people. If maybe someone needs to meet you one-on-one, you can schedule and also charge. It is allowed. Yes.
Now, still to you, someone has a comment here, Moses Ocheng, and I'll need you to either comment about it or reply to it. He says the biggest reason, okay, it is his thought that he's telling us, the biggest reason for unemployment is lack of information. There's always a job somewhere, but you need to know that it's there to apply for it. I think you mentioned something in line with this, that there is always a job, but people have to apply with it, to it. And this is where this idea of people may not have money and they'll need to print, they'll need to submit the CVs, and some people even don't know how to make these CVs better. Yeah. So there's always a job somewhere, he's saying, but people have to apply for it. The biggest reason to unemployment is lack of information. So how do we get to transmit this information to these people? Because these may be remotely located people who don't have phones, by the way.
Okay. So I would say, at least in a community, there, let's say about 60% of people have phones.
Okay.
About. So if you're somebody who is really eager to get a job, you're passionate about getting into the employment world, why would you sit and wait? You know those days before phones were common, before phones were easily accessible, people would go to phone booths to make calls.
Yeah, paid
You
calls.
leave your home, you go and make calls. So why don't you pick that concept and use it? Find someone who has a smartphone. If you don't have, ask them maybe for 30 minutes to use their phone. You can go online and check.
Okay.
As he said, they're always there. Yes. Sometimes we're just too lazy. We want things to come to us. We don't want to go to things. So don't be too lazy. Be eager. Search for information. Even those who are already working. There's a colleague of mine who gave me an advice. He said, even if you have a job, let's say your contract is for 1 year, don't be too comfortable. Apply for jobs. At least apply for 3 jobs in a month. Because this one might end. Let's say this might be your last year. You've not been applying for any job. So what are you going to do? So even if you're working, keep applying.
By the way, it's very difficult to find a job when you're idle.
Yes.
No.
And sometimes the jobs are not advertised. You have to take the initiative to go and knock on doors. Sometimes you'll hear someone has been employed in this organization. Then you'll hear saying, I've been waiting for an advert. No, someone took the initiative to walk there and ask for a job. Maybe you start as a volunteer.
Yeah.
Because people don't want to do voluntary work.
Exactly.
You start as a volunteer and then from there you rise. Yes.
By the way, volunteering is one of the first steps to challenging unemployment. Very many people don't want to volunteer, but volunteering, entrepreneurship, even child giving, these are all aspects that can bring you out from unemployment. Now there's also a comment from Sharon Okuonjia, and this is to you. She's saying maintaining positive attitude towards the different employment opportunities and not to underlook the skills and potentials within ourselves, being a go-getter. This is very true. We need to maintain a positive attitude towards the different employment opportunities that we have, and we do not need to underlook people's potentials and skills that they have. So how can workers maintain a positive attitude towards the job opportunities?
Yeah, that's very important. I've met someone, and they told me, I left that job because that was not my expectation. I was expecting to earn more salary than what I received. So I just quit it. I'm saying that. So that is a very lazy comment, and when you comment it to anyone, they may never refer you to someone for any job.
That is true.
Because they know you want things easily, you just want things easily, and you want things easily, but you can't work out for them. So sometimes maintaining a positive attitude it's not a smooth journey, it's a journey filled with challenges. Like you started maybe you started work as a volunteer. Remember, you started from a volunteering stage, but you're hoping that in case there is a position in the organization, you'll be given a position. And here you are, maybe you'll have so many things that you lack. And maybe someone is telling you, why are you volunteering? Why you continue volunteering here? I think that. So when you don't have a positive mindset, actually let me say a positive mindset is very important in anything you do. Every time you have a positive mindset, even God himself helps you reach your final destination successfully. Yeah. So one thing I want to emphasize here, maintaining a positive attitude or mindset comes with a lot of challenges. It's not a smooth journey. So like in this journey, there are so many things that you come across, but still you have to remain focused as an individual.
The Bible says that God blesses the works of our hand. Yes. God cannot come from heaven and give you an appointment letter. God cannot come from heaven and give you money. You will have to work for it, and he will bless you. Now, we have people who are commenting here, and Badriko Bernard says, thanks West Nile TV for hosting the guests, and he said he's currently watching at Onduparaka Trading Center. Thank you so much, Bernard, for watching West Nile TV. And we have Mahire Benikonsura. He or she?
She.
Okay, she is saying, thank you guys for your ideas and encouragement. Thank you so much for watching West Nile TV. And Victoria Ariaka is saying, wow, I'm impressed with what you are sharing. May God bless you, watching from Saudi Arabia, and I feel blessed. Thank you so much, Victoria Ariaka, for watching West Nile TV. And Hadomati Peter is saying, thanks. Wow, thanks for the show. Jimmy Kosa is saying it is inspiring listening to the life experience of these young ladies. Impactful. Thank you so much, Kosa. Thank you, Hadomati Peter, for watching West Nile TV. Now we're almost rounding up with our show. I want to get from you an advice that you would have for someone who is considering getting self-employed as we speak right now.
Okay, so I'm going to speak from the point of being employed to considering self-employed. Employed means that you're working for somebody.
Yes.
And then self-employed, you're working for yourself.
Yes.
So, you know, sometimes when you're working for people, you look at the amount of time that you're investing in building someone's dream, and you wonder, if I invest this time in my own thing, how much more can I achieve? But before you transition, you need to have a plan. Have a plan. I think she can testify self-employment is not a smooth journey. It's not easy. It's not a walk in the park. So you have to plan. If I leave this employment, let's say working for somebody, how will my 6 months look like? How will my next 1 year look like? So you have to plan financially and all round. You have to plan, because if you just quit without any plans, you will cry, because it's not easy. So you really have to plan. Don't just quit because every other person is quitting. I know we're in a generation where people don't want stress at workplace. Any little stress, I'm resigning, I'm leaving. Don't do it because other people are doing it.
They say, me, I value my peace of mind.
Oh.
Sometimes those challenges are what you need for your next level. Use them as a stepping stone to get to the next level. Don't see every challenge as a challenge. See it as an opportunity to get to the next level.
Stop seeing every challenge as a challenge, but instead see it as an opportunity to get to the next level. So let's get to you. What advice would you give to somebody who is considering being self-employed right now?
Yeah, don't just jump into it. It's a process, so you have to take your time as an individual, survey, look out to mentors, get some mentors, ask them, and that's very important. Don't just quit your job for being self-employed, but sometimes you have to, but not in all conditions, not in all circumstances. And then it's very important for you to be employed and have a side business, because today your job might end, and maybe the salary you had was the one supporting your family to pay school fees, to feed the home, and now it's no more. So this time around, you begin from nowhere. So you having a side business really helps you a lot. Like, in case this is done here, I know I have a startup somewhere. Yeah, thank you so much.
Wow, thank you so much for joining us at West